Hey guys, and welcome back. So today we're going to talk about fairness. The question of what is fair to BTS and the fans, and for the question of their military service, that ongoing question, because the political elites are trying to push forward this narrative of fairness. So is it fair for BTS to be performing in a stadium with holes in the ceiling? Well, that's one of the big questions that leads right into what is really fair, because the political elites right now are trying to push this narrative of fairness in the sense that it's only fair for BTS to go serve in the military. Well, let's really unwrap that and ask what really is fair. And in our K-Beauty segment, I wanted to give you my honest opinion on retinols, whether it's over the counter or whether it's prescription. And if you just want to ditch the whole retinol thing, an interesting and very effective K-Beauty technology that may be even better than retinol. So all that coming up, stay tuned. Okay, so we all know that the upcoming concert on October 15th in Busan is going to be at the Busan Asiad main stadium. One of you in the comments said, why hasn't it been really used in the past after the World Cup? Because it's too big. Like sometimes when stadiums are just too big, they really can't be used. And so yes, it has fallen into disrepair, and a typhoon 2 years ago just ripped off some of these panels in the roof because it's a semi-enclosed dome. And so of course when the wind goes, it's probably not aerodynamic to withstand typhoons. Each of those panels costs $300,000 and they're manufactured in Germany. So it's not as if they can just whip it up right away. And supposedly it was on a maintenance schedule to be completed next June in 2023. So in a few weeks, that's impossible. So concert goers are going to be going to a stadium with some holes in the ceiling, or unless they find a way. Now, when I saw some of the panels, it looked like, well, maybe they could put like the big, kind of the signs that they sort of print on like vinyl panels or something like that. Perhaps, with the big sign, with each of the members' photo, maybe it's too big. It might be too dangerous, actually. What if it fell down and it like suffocated everybody? So that might not be good. Perhaps they can actually project an image onto the missing spots, like use smoke and mirrors. At this point, honey, you got to come up with lots of stuff. I mean, y'all were trying to like turn a glass factory demolition site into a place, so this is probably heaven sent. You could probably flash up some sort of holographic image onto the empty space and voila, problem solved. And you probably don't have to spend like a lot of money, and then there's no teardown of any kind of actual materials. So I'm hoping everything is chugging along. HYBE Entertainment recently announced that they are responding to fans' concerns about the costs. Where is it coming from? They're saying like, don't worry about it, we're covering it, we're making sure that the show is going to be of the utmost quality, and whether it's sponsorships, we're gonna cover it. They felt a little bit bad that they don't want it to be coming out of like government budget, not as if it was gonna come from the government anyway. So is it fair that like they're really picking up all of the pieces? This is such an unfair situation, because was it really fair for them to have been put into this role in the first place? It did not look like they wanted to be doing this job. Do you think that they wanted to be ambassadors for the Busan Expo? Do you think they really, really wanted to do that? Do you think that was actually fair for the country to sort of blackmail them into this type of situation? The reason why I bring up fairness is because that is what the Minister of Defense is bringing up. That is what the Military Manpower Agency head has been bringing up. What is fair to society? That's what some commentators that look like they're kind of like now on the PR team of the political establishment are trying to push out this narrative that fairness needs to be accommodated. So from their point of view, they're saying that it's not fair to say that pop stars should be included among the artists that get military exemption because they get paid a lot and that their ventures are for-profit motives, and that classical music needs to be protected because it's a lot smaller of an industry. Now let me tell you, classical music is extremely expensive. Usually only the elites can really enjoy, learn, participate, and be part of that cultural milieu. Do you know, like, one cello can be like $300,000, and if you want to be like a good cellist and, you know, get the lessons, I mean, the lessons are expensive too, but then you got to buy like a cello. Who can do that? And then you better believe that when you want to join an orchestra, you want to get paid, and that's a job, and that does come with prestige and honors, and that is also for a profit motive to be paid. So I don't understand like how they are trying to make a distinction between a classical musician who are selling out all the same like big stadiums, like I've seen at the Hollywood Bowl in Los Angeles, you know, like Sarah Chang doing her violin, and also like Lauryn Hill, you know, showing up late and, you know, doing her songs, like it was with the Fugees or not. And they also are saying that, yeah, that it's a commercial it's a commercial enterprise. Now, let me tell you, a lot of these K-pop stars, they're working off of passion pay, they're working off of slave contracts, a lot of them don't even make much money. And you're trying to say that it's not fair. Now, let's now really talk some real tea, okay? What about the engineers who are exempted from the military, working in the semiconductor industry? Don't tell me that is not a capital-intensive, for-profit industry that, like, where is the, like, non-profit arts service or any kind of humanitarian element in that? That is a business. You conveniently forgot to mention that in your whole fairness argument. And so this is where I think we're really at, because when they were talking about the musicians and especially the sports teams, they were really saying that there was no way for the pop stars' accomplishments really to be owned by the state, by the country. So if you have like the Olympics, that can be owned by the country. Somehow classical music can be I don't think so. I think they're sliding in because, like I said, it's an elite activity. You can get your elite, you know, friends and benefits there. But things like the Olympics, when they said, that was the critical statement that I think showed their hand. Because it's owned by the state means that a politician can turn that into some sort of monetary or political power that benefits them. And when you have total commercial like Billboard charts or Grammy Awards, that's something they can't control. That's something that they cannot convert in their life and in their agencies and in their job into something that they can profit or gain from. There's no leverage that they can make from that. With the Olympics, or the Expo, they are in control of who gets the contracts of, the catering, the building, the construction, basically everything then flows through a politician's circle and rather than a business circle. And so then that becomes something tradable, whether it's monetary or with power. But with BTS, when they're looking at what can we get out of it? They haven't been able to say well, you gave us this. And the only reason I'm saying this is because if you're looking at it on the merits of what actually is fair, we've already demonstrated that the fairest thing to do is to honor BTS. But the fact that you are continuously saying that it's not fair means that it hasn't hit your criteria of fairness. And your criteria of fairness is extremely self-serving. And you don't want to admit that, but what else are we supposed to believe? Because it is so obvious. Why did you cancel the opinion poll? The Minister of Defense said we're going to go by also the opinion polls. But now when the opinion polls started to look like it was going more again and again in BTS's favor, they decided, we're going to cancel it. The reason why I think they were going off of opinion polls now was that in their mind, fine, we might give you a freebie. In their twisted mind, if the public is so for it, then it's not going to cost us anything. If the public has some sort of 50-50, or if there is a segment of their political base that is mad at an exemption, even if they're not the majority, that's going to cost them something. So they wanted to know, is this going to cost us politically? And right now, it seems as if they're thinking, yes, this is going to cost us politically. Therefore, it's not fair. Therefore, it's costing. Because if it was overwhelming in every single demographic that, yes, BTS should just go, then they could probably say okay, fine. Maybe we might not get anything convertible from BTS, but let's let them have it. But because there are some segments that are opposed, they're probably thinking, why should I risk anything when I'm not going to get anything? And so the Expo, I think, was their whole system to be able to dole things out for people to get things. Now, it's not over yet. The Expo bid is continuing, and this concert is in order to impress the Expo committee and the VIP, so hopefully it will go well, and hopefully it will do its job. But BTS, HYBE, they're not the ones that have created all of this negative sentiment against Busan's bid for the Expo. It was themselves. And it would be even more understandable if they were anti-BTS, if BTS was just kind of a lower priority ambassador, but they're the main thing. I haven't heard any other big pushes by Busan or the government in terms of the arguments of why it should be in Busan. except for BTS and maybe the technology, like the standard PR stuff. If you're going to lean so heavily on BTS for this job, is it really fair to them? And let's really talk about fairness. They are going to serve under very different conditions from a normal conscript. Is that fair? Is it fair for them to be stared at all the time in the shower, have pictures drawn of their naked body, have secret pictures taken, videos taken, and have all of their private information shared across social networking services? Is that fair? Is that fair to traumatize somebody like that and not even announce or kind of give any kind of indication that you're going to do anything to protect them? It would be different if you said, like, fine, we are going to make them serve, but we're going to create a new system where there's going to be safeguards so that these types of scenarios do not occur, for the fairness of everybody, because it's not fair for regular recruits to also have to be in that environment and witness that, and also see the safety and the security of their situation be compromised by people distracted when you should be focused on defending the country. But again, people just don't really understand these things unless they feel it themselves. So if we're talking about fairness, you know what I think would be really fair? Really, really fair? The Minister of Defense, the Military Manpower Association head. How about those two and any other people who are supposed to be involved in this decision making? We require that they shower at a public facility that's open to the public, both genders, and at a set time every day. Anybody can go shower with them. Yes, draw pictures of their bodies and talk about them and harass them, and then always ask them for favors and see if maybe mamas will go in there and say oh, can you get my son a job or something like that? Or even if there's I don't know how many looky-loos there would be, but they're not, they're kind of handsome, right? Maybe there'll be some old algebras who want to go there too. That's the type of even worse than that. You need to have even worse than that kind of a feeling to really understand fairness, how unfair it will be for these BTS members to be going and serving. It's not going to be the same experience for them as somebody else. So if you really want to talk about fair, then let's really open up the fairness discussion. Right now, you're thinking fairness in terms of your own greed, that it's not fair that you didn't get anything when all of your other buddies at other government agencies have been able to convert their careers into cash generating opportunities. That is what is unfair in your mind. So let's be real about it, okay? Okay, you guys, so I have been avoiding talking about retinoids and retinols because I have a conflicted relationship with retinol, because I do understand how powerful it is and what a life-saving product it is, especially for acne sufferers. I remember having to use it definitely when I had major acne, but the thing is, with retinol, I found that it was kind of like a catch-22. It was supposed to make your skin better in terms of the beauty aspect, increase collagen and get rid of wrinkles, but then at the same time, it makes you more susceptible to wrinkles because of the UV. And when you're applying it at night, you're mainly only supposed to use the retinol because you don't want other products to mix in so that you get maximum effectiveness, but then you can't really use all the other great skincare products out there. So I kind of felt like, that's it? Like, just to use this? That's kind of, I want to condition the outside of the skin. Now, this is the secret of retinol. So the reason why I think retinol, especially in America, is so popular is that it's almost the only skincare cream that goes beneath the layers of your skin. Almost all skincare products, even though they're saying like all these miracle claims, they will only treat the surface of your skin. They will not go down. That's why, like, you get those crazy micro needling things you're trying to like prick your skin so some product goes in. That's crazy. But this has the properties of whatever, like, derivative of vitamin A, and it's not a steroid, but it kind of has that feeling of the steroid. Apparently it's able to go into the lower layers of your skin and really work on it, and that is why it is powerful. Now that's the thing. I think this is why it's more popular in the United States, because dermatology visits to get laser treatments and things that go underneath your skin for beauty is so expensive. But in Korea, it's so much more affordable that you don't want to do this. So basically when I see this kind of a retinol tube, I see a sloppy laser, like a at-home surgery. Like, why am I putting this on my face? Like, how am I dosing the laser? And when you get laser treatments, I think you want it to just be that one time, maybe every now and then you get to enjoy treating the surface of your skin with traditional skincare products. However, if I could not afford the treatments of a dermatologist with their technology, then I could see myself using retinol a lot more. But then I've noticed that you kind of get like what I call retinol skin. Like sometimes it gets a little patchy, it gets a little irritated. So if I had to, sometimes I do use this Peter Thomas Roth retinol serum, and it's only for night, and usually you only use retinol at night because you can't use it in the sun. That's why it's kind of like a dangerous, I kind of almost feel like I'm using like a dangerous product whenever I use retinol. And it's the Retinol Fusion PM Night Serum, and what I like about this, it goes on very smooth and it feels like silky, and apparently it's very time release. Now it's very watery, so you'll see the difference. It is a serum, and so it feels like you get a smooth coverage, and that's almost sometimes the problem with this, is that like it's thick and goopy, so you might like apply it thicker on one part of your skin than another on your face, and you might start to peel and crack and stuff like that. And then like if you're not careful, your fingerprints start to kind of peel off because it's too strong. It's too powerful, and I don't know. It's kind of like it's a gift, but I think it does show a little bit of dysfunction of the American healthcare system. It should not be that expensive to access like the laser treatments and things like that from a dermatologist in the United States, so that we can stop like using so much like retinol. So you don't see a lot of Korean people like all up in retinol all the time, but I totally get it. I would do it too if it weren't so like accessible here in Korea. Now, what is accessible in everywhere in Korea and United States is LED light technology. So this is EcoFace, and yes, I do sell it, and I will give you the best discount code for Seoulite TV viewers. It's in the description. And the beauty of this is that this also does penetrate below the surface of your skin, but without product. It's LED lights, 2 frequencies of red light therapy. And so you use this for 5 to 20 minutes. You could use it every day, or you can use it twice a week, 3 times a week. So you just put it on like this, and it is amazing for your skin. People say that they get their fine lines. It stimulates the collagen production, and it also can get rid of a little bit of discoloration like melasma and those kind of things. And I don't want to mess up the green screen, so I'll turn it off. What this also does is they said the side effect of red light therapy sometimes is that if you have like deviated septum and you have like allergies or a clogged the blood vessels in your nasal passages are inflamed, it goes down. So sometimes it can become easier to breathe, and your redness and inflammation goes down. So sometimes I also saw, like, you know, if I was hungover or something and a little puffy, like, you use this in the morning and it kind of goes down. Ideally, you use this between 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. That's when your body is regenerating collagen. And so right before going to bed is the perfect time. But, you know, right when you wake up, that's also a convenient time. But you can use this anytime of the day. And I think this is a great alternative to retinol because you don't have to apply it to your face. You get the same plumping ingredient effects, actually probably even better because it's technology. And then you can still use other products at night that take care of the surface of your skin. So what do you think, guys? I mean, what is fair? Because we have to really redefine what fairness is. And I think that debate has been a bit hijacked by the political class here for their own ends. And I have seen time and time again, people apply that fairness in a very selfish way. And I think we still just need to keep talking about it with the whole BTS safety in mind, because is it fair for BTS to have put themselves in danger and their fans in danger? I don't think that was fair at all. And is it fair to put them in harm's way in the military? I don't think that's fair. Is it fair for the military to become distracted and dysfunctional with their presence when they're supposed to be focused on defending the country? I don't think that's fair. So, and really, you gotta check yourself if you are a politician and you're mad that you don't think it's fair that other political buddies were able to cash in and you weren't. So, check it. All right, guys. Well, put your comments below and remember to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.